So I'm gonna address the elephant in the room right now. New camera. Broke my old camera. You'll see a video coming out on that tomorrow, maybe Christmas Day, but I broke my camera opening cards. That's all you need to know. So we're on a different camera for today's video, so it might look a little different at the start, but don't worry, we'll be back to normal. And honestly, tell me if you like this camera more. If you do, I'll use this one more. It is a better camera. I just don't know what you guys like, so let me know. But back to the rankings, of course, 12 days of MLB rankings. Say we got day number 10. We were so close to the finish line. DH, I know it's supposed to come out yesterday. It's coming out today. I apologize. The days are getting all screwed up. I've been so busy, but you're still gonna get 12 days of MLB rankings. Tomorrow, relief pitchers or possibly prospects. I don't know yet. And of course, Christmas Day is gonna be my top 50 player ranking. So as always, guys, if you do enjoy it, we're so close to the finish line here. Drop a like on the video if you do enjoy it and help support the channel. Subscribe to the channel as well if you have not yet done so. We're so close to 170K. Get in the comments down below. Let me know what you agree or disagree on for these rankings. The DHs were hard. It's only the American League, so you know we gotta look past that a little bit. And make sure you drop me a follow on Twitter and Instagram at GiraffeNeckMarc. Links in the description as always. And I must say, for the DH video, it is only gonna be American League DHs. I know the National League had the DH last year, and there might be a DH in the National League this year, but as of right now, there isn't one, so we're only gonna be counting the American League DHs in today's video. Getting the video started today at the number 15 spot, surprisingly, Chris Davis of the Oakland A's. Now, it was only a few years ago that Chris Davis was one of the top DHs in the game, but we saw a horrendous 2019 from him, and 2020 was shockingly bad, and the biggest thing is that he's just not really hitting the ball hard anymore. This was a guy who had major power, put up 3 seasons in a row of 40 plus homers and a 247 average. I mean, he was like an identical player for 3 years in a row, and he has just stopped doing that. He has not hit for power. He hasn't got on base. His slugging percentage has been below 400 the last 2 years. Chris Davis has been a shell of the player that he once was, and I don't necessarily know if he has it anymore. The power is just completely gone, and if he's not hitting home runs, Chris Davis is just not one of the best DHs, and in fact, he's gonna come in as the worst DH in my list today. Maybe a little drastic, maybe a little crazy. He's only 2 years out from a 48 home run season, but what we've seen the last few years is scary, and I don't know if we'll ever see him hit 40 home runs again like he once did. Next up at the number 14 spot, staying in the American League West, Ty France of the Seattle Mariners. Now, Ty France is by no means one of the better DHs in the game, but he is only 26 years old, and he had a good season in 2020, especially when he got to Seattle for those last 23 games. Overall, he played in 43 games on the season, 4 homers, 9 doubles, a triple, and 23 RBIs, 305 average, 368 on base, 468 slugging, 836 OPS. That's coming off of a somewhat bad season in 2019 in 69 games. Nice. We're at a 696 OPS. If you find the in-between there, you get a guy who's a 757 OPS, 105 plus, and I think he's probably closer to that 800 OPS than what we saw in 2019. Ty France is a pretty good little player that the Seattle Mariners picked up in the trades, and I just think he slightly gets the edge over Chris Davis because you have a guy on an upward trajectory versus a guy on a complete downward spike. Coming in at the 13th spot, I got Miguel Cabrera of the Detroit Tigers. Now, Miggy actually had a surprisingly good year in 2020. Off of an okay year in 2019, he just hasn't really put together a great season, to be honest, since 2016, and that's really what I'm seeing. Short seasons, he's done great, but as the seasons have gotten longer over the last few years, his numbers continue to go down. Since 2017, Miggy was no longer the real Miguel Cabrera that we once saw. 162 game average of 19 homers, 27 doubles, and 80 RBIs, a 267 average, which is still good, 342 on base, 406 slugging, 749 OPS, puts him basically as a league average DH, and as he's getting another year older, playing in Comerica, which definitely plays big, it is not a hitter-friendly park, it's hard to know what kind of offensive value Miguel Cabrera is going to have because of the age, because of the injury factor, and because of where he plays. So right now for Miggy, while he is one of the GOATs, he is one of the best players I ever got to see play, he is going to be the 13th best DH in today's video. Next up at the 12th spot, going back to the American League West to talk about Willie Calhoun of the Texas Rangers. Willie Calhoun flew up my list last year because in an 83 game stretch, he was unbelievable. I mean, just kind of averaging 40 homers and 25 doubles on a season, which would have been incredible. And obviously that's not the kind of player he could have been, but we saw that there's potential there. 2020, weird year for him, so I'm not going to punish him too much and make him one of the worst, but it wasn't good. 1 homer, 2 doubles, a triple, and 13 RBIs with a 190 average, 231 on base, which is abysmal, 260 slugging, really bad, and 491 OPS. That's a pretty horrendous year, but he got hit in the face. He had all these injuries. He had a confusing season. I'm going to cut him some slack here because we have seen an 83 game stretch where he was on another level, getting a little bit of the in-between there, and I think 12 is going to be a safe spot for him. And then just missing out on the top 10, coming in at number 11, we got Edwin Encarnacion, who's a free agent and was with the White Sox last year. Encarnacion is a really tough player to rank because in 2020, he was really bad in 44 games, a 627 OPS, 157 average, 250 on base, and 377 slugging, all career lows for him. But the year before, he was really good, and he still has put up back-to-back years of 30 plus homers every single season. But just like Miguel Cabrera, he's turning 38 years old now. Seasons are getting longer, they're not getting any easier, and I just don't know how much longer Edwin Encarnacion is going to really be able able to produce, especially because the average was just completely out last year. He wasn't even necessarily walking. We know he still has that crazy power. It's going to show up again at some point. But is he truly one of the top 10 DHs in baseball anymore? In my eyes, I got to keep him outside the top 10. But of course, you got to respect the guy for how good he has been in his career. Getting the top 10 started at the number 10 spot, I got Rowdy Tellez of the Toronto Blue Jays. Now, Rowdy has had a little bit of a weird career, played in 169 games, nice. And these numbers are good though. 33 homers, 33 doubles, 91 RBIs, a 250 average, 309 on base, 488 slugging, and 797 OPS. But the thing that you need to take note of last year is that he was hitting the ball so hard, hitting it in the air. He had some of the best exit velos in baseball, featured in my strongest players video. He was crushing baseballs. And Rowdy is a good hitter. We've known that from his prospect time. This guy can hit. So I think you should probably throw out that 2019 season, which by the way wasn't too bad. It wasn't great. But if you see what he did in 2020, which I think is more realistic of the kind of hitter that Rowdy Tellez can be, that's a really good DH. So I'm not going to go too crazy putting him inside the top 5 just yet. But at number 10, I think that's a very safe spot for Rowdy. Kind of in that same category as Rowdy, at number 9, I got Austin Meadows, who unlike Rowdy had a good 2019 for 138 games, but then had a weak 2020. 2019 Meadows was disgusting. 33 homers, 29 doubles, 89 RBIs, and stole 12 bases, hitting 291 with a 364 on base, 558 slugging, and 922 OPS. He got MVP votes. He was an all-star. He was a beast. The 2020 was a different story. 4 homers, 8 doubles, 13 RBIs with a 205 average, which is shockingly low, 296 on base, 371 slugging, and a 667 OPS. So much so that the Rays started using other guys at DH last year, but I think he is their best option. I think he's still a good player, and coming in at number 9, I mean, you're a top 10 DH in the league. That's still pretty good. Just need to see a little more consistency out of Austin Meadows before he can get in front of the guys ahead of him, because they have just done it for a longer period of time, or we're discussing in their very, very short time. So Austin Meadows, number 9. Next up, at the number 8 spot, I got Franmil Reyes of the Cleveland Indians. I'm a big Franmil guy. The Franimal is a beast. He hits baseball so hard. He's a massive human being, and he loves to hit home runs. Now, he also loves to strike out, doesn't particularly walk, but it doesn't matter because Franimal is a beast. 59 games in 2020, 9 homers, 10 doubles, 34 RBIs, a 275 average, 344 on base, 450 slugging, and a 795 OPS. Still an OPS plus above 100, coming off of seasons with San Diego and Cleveland where he had an 822 OPS, 838, and for his career he's an 821 OPS guy. His 162 game average from the 3 seasons he's played, 34 homers, 21 doubles, and an 821 OPS. For a DH, that's exactly what you're looking for. He hits the ball hard, hits it far, and he's a damn good DH at number 8. For the 7th best DH in Major League Baseball, I'm happy to say that Trey Mancini makes the list. Of course, he was recovering from cancer this past season, and Trey Mancini apparently is going to be healthy and ready for the 2021 season, which is amazing news. And that's also amazing news for the Orioles because he's their best player on their team, arguably. 2019, he had a monster year. 35 homers, 38 doubles, 2 triples, 97 RBIs, a 291 average, 364 on base, 535 slugging, and 899 OPS. Oh my goodness, Trey Mancini. For his career, 819 OPS. He averages 30 homers and 31 doubles a season. That's a really good stretch out of Trey Mancini. We've seen 3 good seasons out of him thus far. The reason I knock him down a little bit lower is, of course, he is coming back from a massive setback. Of course, cancer is going to be a big deal. And because he hasn't played baseball in a year, probably going to take him a little bit longer to get back into it, especially with what just happened and what he's gone through. But if Trey Mancini does come back and he comes back healthy, like the player he is, he's going to be huge for the Orioles, and he's a beast at the plate. For the 6th best DH in Major League Baseball, or really the American League, I got Jorge Soler of the Kansas City Royals. Soler was gross in 2019, 48 homers, led the American League, 265 average, 354 on base, 569 slugging, and 922 OPS. 2020, a little bit worse for sure, 8 homers, 8 doubles, 769 OPS, so it wasn't as strong of a season, but again, 43 games, like I'm not trying to punish these guys too much for a bad stretch. Now, Edwin Encarnacion and Miggy, those guys are older, so they're going to be getting another year older as the years go on, whereas someone like Jorge Soler is in his physical prime at 29, I don't expect him to have a bad season again. In fact, I think he's going to be pretty good, which is why I have him at 6, just outside the top 5. He's got crazy power. He is a good hitter. We've seen that for 200 plus games in Kansas City. I think 2021 he's going to come right back to normal and have a fantastic year again. 6th best DH in baseball. Now, getting the top 5 started, coming in at the number 5 spot, I got Shohei Ohtani of the Los Angeles Angels. That's right, Shohei Ohtani, the DH. Everyone forgets sometimes, but that might be his best position. Now, 2020, bad year all around. Tommy John surgery, the pitching, the hitting, it was bad. So, like, completely scrap it. Who cares about 2020? Let's look at 18 and 19, and that's why Ohtani's in the top 5, because when this guy's in the lineup, he's an extremely valuable hitter. Over those 2 seasons, he played in 105 games, averaging 20 homers, 20 doubles, 4 triples, and 11 stolen bases, a 286 average, 351 on base, 532 slugging, and 883 OPS. Absolutely disgusting. You want 162 game averages for more of a season. 31 homers, 32 doubles, almost 20 stolen bases. Ohtani is extremely gifted at the plate. It almost gets underappreciated underrated because everyone thinks about him pitching, but at the plate, he is a absolute animal, and that's where he has the most value for the Angels right now. If he's not going to be healthy pitching, you got to get him healthy hitting. 2020 bad year, but we see those 210 games from 18 to 19, and you go, yeah, this kid's something special. Got to put him in my top 5. Now, coming in at number 4, maybe one of my more controversial rankings because he's only played in 89 games, but I got Yordan Alvarez of the Houston Astros. And the reason I got Yordan Alvarez of the Houston Astros is because this guy did crazy things in 89 games. In 89 games, he hit 28 homers, 26 doubles, 82 RBIs, a 312 average, 410 on base, 654 slugging, and a 1064 OPS. Oh my gosh. For a 162 game average, that is 51 homers, 47 doubles, and 149 RBIs with a 1064 OPS. Like, yeah, I don't care. I don't care if that's only 89 games. We saw how Yordan hits. This guy is extremely talented. I mean, he almost put up a 4 WAR at DH just hitting. Unbelievable stuff from Yordan Alvarez, one of the most talented hitters in the game. Yes, he's coming back from an injury that kept him out of all of 2020. He's only 24 years old. He's a young kid. He's going to be completely fine. Yordan Alvarez is going to just, he's so good. I feel like people forgot about him. He's the 4th best DH in the game. At number 3, we got another guy who has been injured in his career the last couple seasons, Giancarlo Stanton of the New York Yankees. And Giancarlo, while he has only played in about 40 games the last 2 years, I don't really care. He's Giancarlo Stanton. Won an MVP in 2017, was gross in 2018, even in a down year. Yankees fans will say he stunk in 2018, but he was actually pretty good, 852 OPS. We saw him come back in the playoffs. He was gross, and he just like kind of has never been bad. So I'm only putting him at 3 because of the injuries and whether or not he'll actually play. His durability, like I said with Aaron Judge, your best ability sometimes can be your availability. But obviously, sheer talent-wise, he might be the most talented DH in the league, and that's what keeps him at number 3. I mean, in 2017, we saw him hit 59 homers in that MVP season. 2018, still 38 homers, 34 doubles. In the last 2 years combined, while he's only played in 41 games, 7 homers, 10 doubles, 890 OPS. Yes, sign me up for that Giancarlo Stanton. He had an almost 400 on base percentage the last couple seasons in a short sample. He's gross. Like, just don't forget about this guy. He's too good. When he's healthy, I don't ever want to face him at the plate. And then just missing out at the number 1 spot, coming in at number 2, I got JD Martinez of the Boston Red Sox. JD had a bad year in 2020, but that seems to kind of be the average for what's going on with DHs in baseball. Doesn't feel like anybody particularly had a great 2020. Just like Giancarlo and Soler and all these other guys, though, his years before have been crazy. Since 2017, here's what his averages are. 41 homers, 32 doubles, 113 RBIs, a 313 average, 388 on base, 619 slugging, and an OPS above 1,000. Yep, that's good. That's all I need to hear. 2020 bad year, COVID, all that stuff, I'm going to chalk it up to that. 40 homers and 30 doubles with an OPS above 1,000. That gets you in the top 2 of DH. I mean, the guy hits the ball so hard. He takes the ball to right field. You love to see that. Gets on base, does it all except plays the field, but that's why he's a DH. He almost won the MVP as a DH in 2018. That's how good he is. JD Martinez, number 2 in all of baseball, just missing out the number 1 spot because coming in at number 1 at the crisp age of 40, going into his 41-year-old season, Nelson Cruz of the Minnesota Twins. Well, free agent now, but he's going to be back with the Twins. I mean, how does this guy keep doing it? He's going to be 40, 41 years old next year, and there's no signs of him slowing down. 2020, he was arguably the best DH in baseball, finished 6th in the MVP voting, 16 homers, 6 doubles, a 303 average, 397 on base, 595 slugging, and 992 OPS. You guys know I love the fine wine, and I didn't get to give it to you on the pitcher side, but Nelson Cruz, like a fine wine, only gets better with age. This guy's putting up some of the best years that he's ever had in his late 30s. From 2014 to 2019, he was averaging 41 homers and 26 doubles a season with a 916 OPS. You include last year, his 162 game average actually goes up to 45 homers a year, 920 OPS. Like, this guy is just so gross. He's the fountain of youth. He's gonna get signed by somebody, should be Minnesota. He's incredible. Nelson Cruz, don't care how old he is always gonna be the top DH in the league, I think, until he retires. He's so good. So those are my rankings for the DHs in the American League. I guess I'd love to know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Do you agree with me? Disagree with me? Let me know what you think. Remember to drop a like on the video if you did enjoy it, as well as subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any content. I'm sorry guys if you were looking forward to me ranking NL DHs, but they just don't exist right now. I know we had it last year and we'll probably have it again next year, but as of right now, we don't have DHs, so it's impossible to rank it. And honestly, most of the National League DHs are going to be worse than the American League ones. The National League just isn't prepared for it, especially with what's going on right now. Rob Manfred refuses to tell anybody the rules. Super frustrating, but that's where we're gonna wrap up the rankings. You guys know the drill from here on out. Thank you so much for watching. YouTube recommends you watch this video. This is my most recent upload, so click through those if you have not yet seen them. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow for another ranking. Bye.